One of my favorite features in Ableton Live is sampling audio. There are a lot of creative things you can do with pre-recorded audio within a session. Let me show you a few of these techniques. I'm going to go ahead and add a new track, specifically a MIDI track. Now if I switch to the other view here, the device view, it says drop an instrument or sample here. So let's go ahead and drop an existing sample, maybe from the guitar. I'm actually going to get rid of that pitch envelope. I'm not liking it as much. So go into clip here, select transposition, click in the background, select all, and hit delete. All right, so this little segment I want to load into this MIDI track here. So I'll just drag and drop where it says drop an instrument or sample here. And then now Live has automatically created a simpler instrument
and place a sample inside of it. So now as long as the track is armed, I can play notes on my MIDI controller and play the sound.
If I play middle C, we can hear the sample as is. And if I play higher, the pitch goes up. Make it a bit louder. If I play lower, the pitch goes down. Now you notice that warping is off right now. So as I go lower, the pitch does go lower, but it also stretches the sample even longer. And if I play higher, you can clearly hear that the length of the sample is getting shorter. But we can turn on warping as well. And we have all the different warp algorithms. Let's try complex. Pretty cool. We can engage looping. This entire segment will now loop. I can choose how much I want to loop by adjusting this parameter here. I can change the length, change the start position, you notice fade is grayed out because you only get that feature when warping is off. I can change the ADSR envelope that's controlling the volume of the sound. We have a filter built in. So I'm just adjusting the overall frequency content of the sound here. There's an LFO here that can affect the filter frequency. If I go into controls, we have more controls for it. So let's say I want this LFO to modulate that filter frequency. I can increase this parameter. Let's move the filter frequency down to hear it. Speed up the LFO here. I could even sync it to the project tempo. Alright, now that's classic mode. Then we have one shot and slice. I'll use a different sample for one shot. Maybe we can take a snippet from the ukulele. Maybe this segment here. So I'm going to select the segment, hit Command E to isolate it, and add a new MIDI track. This time I'll just use the key command and drag that sample where it says drop an instrument or sample here. Now technically I didn't have to make that edit, but you notice that Live places the start position and end position the exact place where I create the edit, but I still have access to the entire sample. Let's hear this now. In one-shot mode, if I trigger the note once, it just plays through the entire sample. But we can be in gate mode to make it choppy. So we need to hold down the note in order to hear the entire sample. Let's extend this a little bit more.
Very cool. Alright, next let's check out the slice mode. And for this again, I'm going to create a new instrument.
So I'm adding another MIDI track here. And this time I'm going to drag the entire ukulele clip here and drop it in. Let's switch to slice mode. And let's make sure we're using the entire sample. So now Live in real time has sliced up the audio, and playing different notes on a MIDI controller will trigger the different segments of this audio. We have some options here to choose how we want to slice the audio. Right now it's slicing by transients, but you can slice it by beats. So they're all quarter notes or maybe eighth notes.
So the idea here is to use this technique to discover new melodic, rhythmic or harmonic ideas by shuffling the existing audio around.
Playback is right now monophonic, but I can also do a polyphonic playback. So as you can see, there are a lot of creative possibilities when it comes to working with the simpler instrument here.